Hi everybody. For the past two sessions we have seen the dissection of the posterior triangle and anterior triangle, and today we will see the dissection of the digastric triangle or the submandibular triangle. Shall we? We have seen the structures in the posterior triangle, and also we have seen the subdivisions of the anterior triangle, and we have seen this is a muscular triangle, here is a carotid triangle, we have already seen it. The one which is left out is the digastric triangle or the submandibular triangle. We will see the structures in detail. The digastric triangle is bounded, let's see the boundary, it's bounded by the two bellies of the digastric, anterior belly, the posterior belly, here's the intermediate tendon, the posterior belly is supplemented by the stylohyoid muscle, and the base is formed by the lower border of the mandible and an imaginary line passing from the mandible to the mastoid process. The apex is at the intermediate tendon. Of course, the roof of the triangle will be formed by the general investing layer that is common for the posterior triangle as well as anterior triangle. Over the general investing layer, we have the platysma muscle that also forms the roof of the digastric triangle as well as carotid triangle, etc. Right, we have already reflected it. The floor is formed by the hyoglossus muscle, and anteriorly the mylohyoid muscle also forms it. Mylohyoid. This is the mylohyoid muscle. This is the mylohyoid which has been cut, and so the floor is mainly formed anteriorly by the mylohyoid, posteriorly by the hyoglossus. The contents can be divided, can be anterior content and posterior content by the stylomandibular ligament, or superficial content and deep content of the digastric triangle. Now the superficial content, of course, as the name indicates, it's a submandibular, so the submandibular gland is the main content, okay? And in front of the submandibular gland, you can see the nerve to mylohyoid muscle, which supplies the anterior belly of digastric also. The nerve to mylohyoid, which supplies mylohyoid and anterior belly of digastric, accompanied by the submental vessels, which is a branch of the facial artery. So the facial artery is here, the facial artery is here. You can see the facial artery which is cut, and it is deeply placed, deeper, it grooves the posterior part and it is found deeper to the gland, whereas the vein, facial vein, here is a facial vein which is posterior to the artery, is superficial to the gland. Please note the relationship of the facial vein and facial artery in relation to the submandibular gland. The vein is superficial and the artery is deeper to the submandibular gland. This is the superficial part of the submandibular gland. And you also have this nerve is the hypoglossal nerve. We have seen this hypoglossal nerve in this triangle also, as well as in this triangle. This is the carotid triangle, this is a carotid triangle, and we have seen in that it was giving off the superior root of ansa cervicalis and also a branch to the thyrohyoid muscle, and it passes deep to the posterior belly of digastric and comes to lie on the hyoglossus muscle, disappears deep to the mylohyoid muscles. So hypoglossal nerve is also a content. And the other contents, some of the branches which are seen in the carotid triangle is passing also in the digastric triangle. You have the facial artery which is related to the submandibular gland, and the lingual artery which is little lower down, of course it will be passing. Now the other structures, the deeper structure or behind that is the part of the parotid salivary gland which projects down, and you can see the deeper to that, the deeper part of the gland, you can see the styloid process. We will evert the mandible. Mandible is cut to show the deeper structures, and you can see the external carotid artery. This is the continuation of the external carotid artery, and the structures which are passing between the external carotid artery and internal carotid artery. This is the internal carotid artery. Here is the internal carotid artery. And this is the styloid process. Here is the styloid process. And the muscles attached to the styloid process are also in this triangle as a deeper content or in the submandibular region. And this muscle, okay, I'll just put this vein away from it, the external jugular, and you can see this muscle is the styloglossus muscle, styloglossus, and the other muscle which is seen here is the stylopharyngeus, and the nerve that is associated with it is the glossopharyngeal nerve, which winds around the muscle and supplies it. And so, and you have, this is the stylohyoid. So there are three muscles are there: stylohyoid, stylopharyngeus, and styloglossus. Three muscles taking origin from the styloid process. This is the styloid process, and there are two ligaments are also attached. One is the stylohyoid ligament, and the other is the stylomandibular ligament. The stylomandibular ligament is a thickening of the fascia, cervical fascia, deep to the parotid gland, separating the parotid gland from the submandibular salivary gland, whereas the stylohyoid ligament is an embryological remnant which is derived from the second arch cartilage. So you have the deeper contents here. Okay, so they are the contents of the digastric or submandibular triangle. We will see next, we will see the dissection of the parotid region. Thank you.